If you listen to the way young people talk today, you will hear one word repeated more than any other. It has become the default response to a bad test score, a rejected job application, or just looking at the news. That word is cooked. I'm cooked. We're cooked. It is said as a joke, a passing meme, but underneath the humor lies a profound, collective resignation. It is the sound of an entire generation throwing their hands up and admitting that the game they are being forced to play is fundamentally unwinnable. Older generations look at this and call it laziness or nihilism, but they don't understand the board we are playing on. Today, we need to talk about why the new generation feels completely cooked and the silent crisis that is actually causing it. To understand why we feel so exhausted, you have to look at how we were raised. We are the very first humans in history to have our entire cognitive development outsourced to a screen. We didn't just grow up with the internet, we grew up inside of it. Previous generations got to experience childhood in private. They made mistakes, they were awkward, and they figured out who they were without an audience. We were placed into a digital panopticon from the moment we were handed our first tablet. Our awkward phases, our mistakes, and our social standing were quantified in likes, views, and comments. We were taught by algorithms that our worth is directly tied to our visibility. We are hyper-connected to 8 billion people, bombarded with the highlight reels of the top 0.1% of the world. And then we look in the mirror and wonder why our normal, everyday lives feel like a massive failure. But the psychological weight is only the beginning. The real reason we feel cooked is that our brain chemistry has been actively hijacked. We are fighting a war for our own attention spans against billion-dollar tech conglomerates, and for the most part, we are losing. We have been conditioned to survive on 15-second intervals of rapid-fire stimulation. We scroll while we eat. We scroll while we watch movies. We scroll while we are in the bathroom. We have completely eliminated boredom from our lives. But in doing so, we have eliminated our ability to tolerate the friction required for long-term success. Anything that takes longer than a minute, reading a book, learning a complex skill, building a meaningful relationship, now feels like physical torture. We feel cooked because the modern world demands deep, sustained focus to survive, but the digital world has systematically destroyed our ability to maintain it. And then, there's the reality of the world we are supposed to step into. We were sold a blueprint. Get good grades. Go into massive debt for a degree, and you will be guaranteed a safe, comfortable life. We held up our end of the bargain, but the contract was voided. We are stepping into an economy where entry-level jobs require years of experience and pay wages that barely cover groceries. The concept of owning a home feels like a cruel joke. We look at the housing market, the inflation rates, and the rapidly destabilizing global climate, and the math simply does not make sense. It's not that we don't want to work. It's that we are looking at the traditional path and realizing that the math is entirely rigged. Why grind for 40 years in a system that doesn't even promise you a basic level of security at the end of it? So, are we actually cooked? If we continue to play by the old rules, and if we continue to let algorithms dictate our reality, yes. But there is a massive shift happening. Because we see the brokenness so clearly, we are uniquely positioned to reject it. We are the generation that is finally questioning the toxic hustle culture. We are the ones setting boundaries. The cure to feeling cooked is a radical, deliberate opting out of the digital noise. You have to take back your attention span. You have to put the phone down, walk outside, and realize that the internet is not the real world. You have to stop chasing the societal milestones that were invented 50 years ago and start defining what a meaningful life looks like for you. Start small. Build a routine you actually respect. Reclaim your focus. The system might be broken, but your mind still belongs to you. You are only cooked if you decide to stay in the pot. You have the power to step out of the boiling water anytime you want. Unplug, look around, and start building your own reality. Subscribe for more life lessons, and see you in the next one.